We're back again. Welcome to episode 2 of Around the Campfire, our true crime podcast, where we look at interesting cases and we talk about them. As always, I'm joined by our great friend over in Fallcrest, UK.
Alex, sup? Meh.
And as always, I have my brother here.
Hey guys, Mac here.
And as the central researcher, I, John, am here as well. And we come from a misty morning in Glendale this morning.
It's pretty misty, actually.
It is misty. It's gonna go.
Big mist.
Big mist. What do you know about mist? You live in the UK. Oh, it is misty.
It is misty in the UK.
Do you think we don't have rain here?
I think it's kind of like a not real place. You know.
God, what the?
I've never been to the UK.
Bold words from the person in Pennsylvania.
I don't know if you know this, but the Civil War was fought here.
Yeah,
Jesus
sure.
Christ,
War.
All the wars that mattered.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Anyhow, yeah, it's a lovely morning in Glen.
In Glendale. Are you having a stroke over there, Mac? Are you just like in
Good. Okay, shut up. Let's just
I
get on to
spent,
the case.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Spent all night studying. Anyhow.
Yeah, so, as the way these things work, I'm gonna kind of just do an overview. I'm gonna go through what the investigation found, and then I'll talk about what I found doing research more on the case. So, that's kind of how we're gonna move forward. So, you guys ready to talk about the case of Cassidy Miller?
Yeah. Oh shit. Cassie Mello? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one. Are you ready, Alex?
Are we ever gonna have a case name that isn't just the case of generic lady name?
They're people. I think women are people, Alex.
I'm pretty sure women are people, Alex.
No,
Wow.
what I meant.
No, I think I know exactly what you meant.
Like
So.
it's the
It's
second.
2019.
It's
2019.
It's the second.
Well, no, actually, it's
episode.
2021. 2019 was when the case happened, though. So
Yeah, 21.
that's pretty incredible that you guessed that.
Yeah, I'm fucking smart. Okay, go on.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry that I don't have the case of the red-handed bandit for you, or like the case of Squirrel Man. You know, I'm sorry that I'm not busted out.
Hey, Squirrel Man sounds like an amazing case. Like, I'd study that case.
Okay,
That's a cool cryptid.
If you come together with all the reports of Squirrel Man, we'll cover Squirrel Man.
You know what? Maybe I will. Maybe I will.
You know, before we start, I did actually get something in the mail last night. Yeah.
You got something in the mail.
I got something in the mail. And
In the mail?
It was a weird package.
Oh.
I thought I'd open it here.
Don't do drugs.
He's really fudging with this letter. I hope he doesn't have another stroke.
You fuck.
In the city of Glen.
Right, so the weird fucking got a little bit of blood on it. Fuck if I know. Yeah. I had to pull off the fucking packet. Like, had the sticker on it to keep it Oh, you fucker.
Was it sent by the ghost train?
No, he fucking. It just like, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, it's got a big dick drawn in it. So of course we're not gonna get fucking mystery packages that suddenly break old cases. That's fucking ridiculous, Mac.
I didn't.
By the ghost train.
It's like I got this letter. Like, come on, man. Of course. We're not gonna get no fucking letters.
What's in the letter?
Like it's a dick. It's a fucking drawn dick.
It's a big dick, Sharpie dick
Oh,
that I drew.
it's a big old weenus.
Yeah,
it's a big old weenus. Fuck you, John.
Oh hell yeah!
Fuck you, John.
He was really excited to find it. He was like, "Oh my gosh, things are getting spooky." I was like, "Yep."
I thought we
Has
had
Big Senpai Ghost Man found us?
I thought we had like a real fan, and I was a little bit creeped out and like excited. I didn't expect it to be anything. I was just like, ooh, someone likes us enough to stalk us and send us a letter. Yay!
Mac, you fucking idiot. The only stalker we have is the fucking ghost train.
Fucking ghost.
What is the ghost train? Okay, episode 2 is about the ghost train. I'm just kidding. So we're gonna talk about Cassie Miller.
Right.
So Cassie Miller's a bit of a different case than our case last week. So Cassie Miller was found guilty of murdering her roommate Sarah Telly on September 27th, 2019 at East Chester University.
Holy shit.
So Sarah Telly was found with a snapped neck and 3 broken ribs, with 1 rib puncturing her lung. Sorry, not her lug. I don't know what a lug is.
I think it's like a lug bolt.
Matt's not the only one with a fucking stroke.
The DNA and fingerprints found on the body all matched her roommate Cassidy Miller. On further investigation into Cassidy Miller's room, there was a pentagram circle found under her rug in the middle of the floor. There was also a collection of candles and books dealing with the occult. A search of her web history found that she had looked more into the occult and seemed obsessed with the idea of black magic. This behavior, when questioned with friends and family, seemed to not be at all like the girl they all claimed to know. Alright, so that's kind of what Wikipedia says the case of Cassidy Miller is. So that's our Wikipedia.
Okay, so again, this is pretty fucking shut and fuck phrases. This is pretty.
She killed this girl. So that's not what I want to talk about.
It wasn't a fucking scary fucking demon thing or some weird creeper stalker.
Oh, it wasn't some weirdo fucking big old creepy monster like last time.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're not there yet.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you about all the twists and turns. No, there's no creature in this.
Okay.
You can't do all the creature cases together. We're not a cryptid show. We're a true crime podcast, and this is a true crime.
Yeah, we can't be like, oh hey, he was a fucking...
Don't get me wrong, some of this shit is weird, but...
Some of this shit is weird, but we all at Hard True Crime Podcast.
Okay,
like, we're not gonna be like...
Squirrel Man's never hurt anybody. He just flies over cars.
Yeah.
That's what Squirrel Man wants you to think.
Alright, well,
I know.
Well, I look forward to
your
theories
attacks.
about Squirrel Man, Alex. So Cassie Miller actually
grew
up not very far from here, in Fairfield, Pennsylvania. So,
yeah,
she focused heavily on academics, and all the records that I could find on it was that she was in honor roll pretty much her entire life.
Shit.
Yeah. She had a 1570 SAT score, that led to her getting a scholarship to East Chester University. So
that's a big fucking university.
Yeah. So she went there for Greek and Roman classics.
Ooh.
Yeah, which is interesting. So she decided that she was going to be this classics major, and this girl was just very smart. Everybody who talked about her. We should talk about her sources. So, some of our sources is, as we talked about last episode, to do some interesting government things that happened in our country. Now there's
the Information Act.
The Information Act allows us to look at fucking anything because now we have transparency.
Yeah, a lot of files were released, so some of this is, of course,
so the government wants you to think.
No, just.
I mean, when you put an orange potato in the White House for 4 years, it kind of causes some changes.
You know, after Florida Man and Oregon Man and Alabama Man, now it's just USA Man.
Yeah,
all over the country.
All over the country. Or USA Woman. Since Alex thinks women are just generic.
Yeah.
Hey! I didn't say that. I just said these names are generic. Okay.
Cassidy's not the nerd.
I didn't think. Yeah, I don't know. But so we're gonna keep.
She sounds like she's from a fucking spaghetti western.
She's not a fucking normie.
Oh man. Okay, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in some of this stuff too, Cassidy was part of an HBO documentary a few years ago, and it was called The Rose Sisters, which is an interesting case name, I guess. Which we'll talk about why that is that.
Wait. Oh, fuck, I think I actually saw that one.
And also there's a few other, there's some internet stuff that we looked into. I should call some people that went to the college during this time.
Oh, really?
I interviewed this past week, which was nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You went out and talked to people?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, the podcast is really... my psychologist says it's really helping with my social aversion.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good for you, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Fighting the good fight every week.
Yeah.
But so, Cassidy Miller was given a full scholarship. And she did really well in her studies. So, she took to college life pretty good. Outside of her academics, Cassidy Miller was a part of a number of organizations before attending college. She was in student council. She worked at a local floor shop. Everybody who lived in Farfield thought that this girl was like textbook good girl, could never kill a roommate. So pretty much this is her before college, right?
Yeah.
So things changed though in college. So for the first freshman year, her first semester was the same way that it's been. Great grades. Great. Doing everything she should. However, she met her boyfriend. So enter in Jason Hicks. So Jason Hicks was a year older than Cassidy and part of a local chapter of Alpha Theta.
Can I just say before we continue, Jason Hicks is such a... No disrespect to Jason's out in the world, but Jason Hicks is such a fucking Chad name.
It's a Chad name.
It's such a jock name. Like, holy God.
Alex, when I hear Jason Hicks, I think of the biggest jock guy ever.
Yeah, when I hear Jason Hicks, I think, man, that guy probably has a huge weenus.
Jesus. Alex is just like, woo.
Yeah, but so Cassie's dating this guy, Jason Hicks, and he's part of the local Alpha Theta frat, right? So he's a frat boy, and they meet, they have a frickin' literature class together, and they start dating. And so Cassidy Miller now proceeds to get involved in the fraternity scene, which included sororities, and that's how she ended up joining the sisterhood, the sorority of Delta Epsilon, otherwise known as the Rose Sisters.
Wow, that's the nickname.
So due to the fact that many believe the sorority was known to practice which rituals?
Oh fuck!
It's a bunch of college girls that believe that they low key the idea of them being witches, right?
Yeah. So it's okay. I mean, it's a cool aesthetic.
Edgy college stuff, basically.
Yeah, and so the thing is with with this sorority
just a bunch of edgy girls.
Yeah, so they, their meetings, they all wore robes. There was a lot of that kind of stuff. But so Cassidy joins this sorority because her boyfriend's part of a frat. She's now spending a lot more time being social and going to parties and kind of changing. People change when they go to college.
Yeah.
Now, many people thought the witch stuff was just a joke. Until Cassidy Miller drew a pentagram and, snapped her roommate's neck, then maybe it was a little less funny. Across the board.
I do have questions about the crime scene later.
Yes, we're going to get into specifics as I'm just trying to put together the timeline that the police have said is how this goes.
Yeah.
So, Cassidy Miller she's now in the sorority house, right? She joined, but so she wasn't a senior enough member to live in the house, though. So I don't know if you guys know a lot about the way that fraternity sorority houses work.
I don't.
Nope.
Okay, cool. So only so many people can live in the house, especially sorority houses in Pennsylvania. Actually, I think it's 8 women. Anything over that, and it becomes a brothel.
Shit.
What the fuck?
So yeah, but they can only have so many women living in a house. Before Pennsylvania laws dictated a brothel. If they're not family. It's really fucked up, but that's not what we're talking about. So the thing is, there's only so many bedrooms in this house. The sorority is a lot of women. So Cassie joins, and then she needs a new place to live. So she and a few other initiates that join that year move into a apartment together. This is where she would meet Sarah Tully. Sarah Tully was another girl that at the same time was joining Delta Epsilon. And they started renting a 4-bedroom apartment together.
Ooh.
Who
was in the other 4? Who was in the other 2 bedrooms?
Oh, I don't know. Some girls.
Like,
I don't know what you want, Alex. They weren't important to the story.
They weren't important. So, like, I think that they were mentioned.
Side characters.
I mean, if you want, I can go through the research real quick and tell you their names. But it's just basic. It's 4 white girls living in a loft. Like.
Alright, John. I think it's a little much to say that it's 4 white girls in a loft.
They were 4 white girls.
What?
It kind of sounds like a sitcom.
It's Eastchester, yeah.
Eastchester?
Which is a very, like, kind of... It's kind of just like middle white PA, like the colleges that... Don't get me wrong, there is a minority population at the college.
Minority population?
No, like colleges post things. They say we have like we're all about diversity. 30% of Eastchester's population is minorities, but compare that to something like, you know, Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Philadelphia, the pop's a little different.
Yeah.
You know? So
right, yeah.
Also too, like with sororities is more of a upper middle class type of shtick. You know?
Man, we're getting racy today, huh?
Are we getting racy? I'm just telling you the way that this college works. Okay, I'm not agreeing with it. I think anybody can decide that they want to dress up in robes and drink period blood or whatever. But
people prove that that's not healthy.
Oh, I'm sure it's not healthy. Okay, well, we need to move on with the story. Right. All right, this is not a politics.
We can't sit here for 4 minutes talking about period blood.
We will. It comes up later, but
oh my god!
Fucking hell, John.
Why are you blaming me? I'm just telling the facts. It's just the facts.
Get on with it.
So they moved into this loft together, and this is where Cassie meets Sarah Tully. Reports pretty much say, though, that these two hit it off perfectly. They were the best of friends. They even went so far as Sarah Tully went home with Cassidy on Thanksgiving break, sophomore year. However, after this trip, the relationship between the two began to sour. So for a few months, they were the best of friends, moving in together, doing everything together. I mean, if you look at like their online things, like Instagram and stuff, they are like all over each other.
Yeah.
And then this Thanksgiving thing happens, and suddenly...
Thanksgiving? Something happens, John?
Something happens between them.
Do we have any fucking note on that?
Not in the official investigation report.
So I
do my job.
Theory.
You have a theory? Well, it's not time for theories, Alex.
I have a bold theory.
Alex, it wasn't the turkey.
I will be heard out.
Alex, it wasn't the turkey.
I know it wasn't the turkey. I think Sarah stole the pie.
Oh. Jesus fucking Christ.
She's a pie-stealing whore.
Oh my god, we can't call her.
You're not far off, but we're not gonna get to it.
She stole a hoe that day instead.
Well, people reported that Cassidy began to withdraw from the sorority and spend more time in her room. She also stopped going to her classes and missed a handful of assignments leading up to the murder. So this girl starts to become withdrawn. So now that's pretty much what the investigation looked at until up to the night of the murder. So everything from this point on is the night of the murder. So,
ooh,
you guys ready?
Spooky.
Yeah, all the background that the officials during the investigation found is done. We're moving on to the real bits. I
have murder Pringles.
On the night of the murder, Sarah Tully returned from her evening class that Friday night, planning to meet up with her friends and boyfriend at the local bar. She found in the living room of her apartment Cassidy waiting for her. The two must have argued due to the loud noises heard by the neighbors before they heard a scream from Sarah Tully. When Campus PD arrived on the scene, they found Cassidy standing over a broken Sarah Tully, her neck snapped, and her body covered in bruises. Cassidy had some of the victim's hair clutched in her hands, and supposedly growled at the officers. When the officers tried to apprehend Cassidy, she ran out of the living room window and up the fire escape, leading to a manhunt across campus, trying to track down Cassidy. Many other students caught sightings of Cassidy as she fled across campus.
Jeez. So, a couple of things I need to ask right now, John. First, were the other two roommates just not there?
No. So the whole thing is that
because I feel like if it's a 4-person apartment, one of them being brutally murdered.
So that's the thing. They were all friends in this apartment.
Yeah.
And so it was a Friday night. She had a night class, so all of her friends were already out drinking because night classes get off at 8:00 at night. College people start drinking. So she was stopping at her apartment to go out and meet up with all the rest of the sorority and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why Cassidy was able to get her alone.
I see.
So, when campus police did find Cassidy, she was found in an alley behind the language arts building, holding her own knees to her chest, continuing to say innocent to herself every few seconds. They also found the numbers...
Innocent.
They also found the number 03 tattooed to her right forearm with the words innocent in all capital letters burned into her arm.
Wait, it's a tattoo but it's been burned into her arm?
So
the 3 is a tattoo.
The 3 and the words are like a...
Wait, hold up. Did she have the tattoo prior to the murder?
No.
Wow, so she...
Do we know where she got the tattoo?
Do we know where the... No, we don't. So
Did she have a side gig as a fucking tattoo artist?
But she has 03 tattooed on her arm. And she has the words innocent also tattooed on there. All in capital letters. You can, like, looking at the evidence photos, you can see it during the trial.
Yeah.
So, it's there. So Cassidy gets arrested, right? But she is clinically broken at this point. She can no longer maintain... Clinically insane. She's found clinically insane. But I said clinically broken because I just feel bad for this girl. She's not capable of maintaining conversation with anyone around her. When people... There's some trial footage where she's just despondent. And honestly, like, any questions about that night just lead to her assuming the fetal position again and saying innocent over and over again.
Please.
Like rocking herself. So the judge and the prosecutor agreed that she was crazy. And she was incarcerated in Treelock Mental Institution in Treelock, Pennsylvania.
That's a fucking name, Treelock.
Dude, this state is a weird state, and we have weird names for towns. And I don't need you.
We don't judge.
Why don't you go back to Manchester or Ulster or fucking London, Alex? Why don't you deal with all your little fucking weird towns and your little fucking island?
Honestly, I wouldn't go back to London. I hear there's some weird shit going on.
Hey, man. Hey, don't talk shit about London.
Alex, look.
The walls have ears.
Yeah, I know the walls have ears, Alex. That's why it's fucking weird.
Authorities believe.
Anyway,
all right, this is an American true crime podcast. We
don't discriminate here, John.
I know we don't. We'll have to do a case that's outside of the U.S. at some point.
It's second episode. We've got fucking time.
We've got time. Authorities believe that Cassidy was the victim of sorority hazing of some sort that led to mental instability, which caused her to fall into mental illness. This girl also fed into the identity of her sorority's supposed witchcraft and sought out rituals that only further pushed her away from reality, leading to the 20-year-old to lose all sense of reality and have a psychotic break, which, explains her snapping her roommate's neck and fleeing across campus. Once again, a youth could not handle the transition to college and the social politics that come with them. It was an open-shut case.
Yeah, it is a pretty open and shut case.
Says
so what's the
police.
mystery?
So we're going to talk about the why, right? So why did Cassidy murder her roommate? Are you guys ready?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe she wasn't washing the fucking dishes.
I'll be honest. I would like to know because from how it sounds like did she die by strangulation? Did she die by
No, her neck was snapped.
So that is how she died.
Snapped to the side. Yep.
Is it snapped and then the bones of the ribs, or was it a struggle then snapping?
Cassidy wasn't found with anything wrong with her other than some wounds that occurred during the chase.
So nobody really I
don't think it was a struggle for her to kill Sarah.
Okay.
Just based on what
I've
looked into.
Evidence we have drawn. Alright. So
let's talk about the whys. Let's talk about what the investigators missed. So one of the sad things about the fact that this is a college case is that they have pressure from the college to make it an open shut case. When things like this happen, colleges don't like it to come out that people die on their campus. It's just bad for business.
Yeah, it's competitive.
So the police pretty quickly, she was insane at that point. She was broken. It was very easy for them to just say that she was insane and
throw the book at her.
Yep, and just be like, yep.
Is she in a psych ward or a...
It's a psych ward.
Okay.
It's pretty sad kind of to see, because some of the documentary sees what her life is like now, and she just,
broken.
She just kind of stumbles around a mental hospital now.
Sucks to suck.
Yeah. So let's talk about Jason Hicks. All right. What the authorities don't mention, what they don't mention during this investigation that I immediately found out after some digging and, looking at Instagram a little bit, is Jason Hicks breaks up with Cassidy during the Thanksgiving break.
Oh.
Did he and fucking Sarah fuck?
Oh yes, they did.
Oh god.
That makes a lot.
So okay. it was easy to find out that Sarah Tony had begun to fuck Jason Hicks long before they broke up.
Hold up.
Cassidy. What?
Does this mean Cassidy is a cuck?
Cassidy was cucked here.
We don't use that word here. But yes, she was cuckolded.
Well, and the thing that's so shitty about all this, right, is that Sarah starts fucking her boyfriend. And the entire support system around the sorority life that Cassidy now lived in was tied to both of these people, her ex-boyfriend and her ex-best friend. And everyone else around her really didn't have a problem with the fact that he broke up with Cassidy and got together with Sarah.
Oh.
So, imagine that. You built your entire fucking support system around, these people. And these people are the reason that you have this entire freaking structure.
Remember, kids, friendship is a scam.
Oh, fuck off, Alex.
But to have her best friend fuck her boyfriend, and then all of her friends and roommates just support the fact that Sarah and Jason were now together, is just fucking ruthless.
Yeah.
And also, with looking into the Delta Epsilon thing, so The only way to get part of this kind of like inner council that the sorority had to move up, right, is you have to follow a mission given by that council. So the mission given to Sarah Tully was for her to fuck her best friend's boyfriend.
What?
Okay, that's a what? That's
wait. What?
Yeah, she had to choose the sorority over her friend because the sorority has to be
shitty.
And she followed that.
Oh, of course, yeah. So I mean, that's the thing that she cared about what this organization was, and the thing is that these fucking fraternities and shit do shit like that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you have to fuck this like, some sororities have girls go to like rooms on a floor and they have to like have sex with people, or they have to do different shitty things, and that's while they're in relationships, and it's just shitty. Like, and the fraternities are like that too. I mean, the difference with the fraternities is you get a lot of shit stuck up your butt. But it's just fucked up. So it's just a fucked up thing, and it sucks that, you know, this girl, Cassie, sounds like a girl that wasn't part of this, like, the social politics that she needed to thrive here. And so that's the thing. Like, if you lost your boyfriend, all your friendships, that would kind of put me kind of in a bad place.
Yeah.
And so, like, fuck. Like, maybe it is just a thing of, like, fuck it. You kill your best friend because you're fucking tired. Tired of the shit.
But
yeah,
that leaves out the most important detail, which is
the pie.
No, the organization that people believe she was connected with
the sorority.
Yeah, the sorority, but I'm talking about the, like, maybe. Oh wait.
Also,
no, I'm trying to say it's a sorority, but some people, from what I read, and I've watched a couple of things, but it was more about around the sorority itself and not the case of the Rose.
We'll talk about the Rose sisters. Yeah. So I want to talk about Mrs. Winters.
By the way, I don't want to interrupt, but okay, what were their builds in comparison to each other, like physically? Because
So Cassidy was like, I want to say 5'6", 5'7" on paper,
right?
180 pounds.
Jesus. Okay.
So she didn't play sports. She was she had a round. She wasn't athletic. She wasn't I guess the way that the kids say it was thick. I believe that's how the kids say it.
Jesus fucking Christ, John.
And Sarah was like 140 pounds and thin, and like 5'10".
Yeah.
I just find it kind of suspect that despite the whole murdering her friend with her bare hands thing,
which is pretty surprising.
There wasn't much sign of struggle. Like, she shouldn't have that much of an, physical advantage. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. She just, like, snaps this girl's neck.
Yeah.
Which while not impossible, is definitely a surprising feat.
Well, the thing is,
there wasn't. She was only wounded from the chase.
Like, we'll get to that. I think we'll talk about that in theories, but it's weird.
So let's get through some of these people in her life before the murder, and then I'll look at some of the things that I found weird. So Mrs. Winters was Cassidy's advisor. She was the head of the classics department, and it's been known that Cassidy would still visit her despite being withdrawn from everything else. She was seen leaving her office 2 days before the murder. Mrs. Winters runs the Ancient Culture Club at the college that deals with kind of like, Roman, Greek, all that kind of like classic literature shit.
Oh, jeez.
So Cassidy was working on a project for Mrs. Winters leading up to the murder, and it's highly doubtful she ever got to finish it. Mrs. Winters was a key character witness in Cassidy's trial. of being like, this girl wouldn't do this, like, going in for the insanity thing.
Yeah.
So she deserves to just at least get mentioned because of the fact that, like, you know, obviously they still had this relationship moving into the murder.
Yeah.
So the Rose Sisters were originally a Wiccan society that existed among the founders of Eastchester. The original women were supposedly destroyed during a witch hunt in 1794. And that is pretty much it. They were witches, and they were killed. Because, you know, witch hunts
were
happen.
witches.
Yep, and so Delta Epsilon most likely found the same story I did, and decided that it would be a unique moniker for their sorority and adopted it for their group.
Kind of fucked up.
Yeah, also, many of the hazing activities are based around blood and other gross bodily fluids with, like, supposed rituals. So they wouldn't fall into this weird Wiccan shit.
Ooh, is this where the period blood comes in?
Yeah,
the period blood.
It's like you bathe in the blood of your sister. It's just, I don't really want to talk about it a lot. It really grossed me out.
I've heard a couple of things about it. It's fucking weird.
You know, when I signed onto this podcast, I didn't think we'd be talking about period blood 2 episodes in, but here we are.
It's gonna get weirder from here.
Yeah, and so I talked to a few ex-Delta Epsilon members this week, like, you know, through Facebook, just kind of like hitting people up around this case. Because I was like, okay, well, how occult are these rituals, right? And a lot of just the ex-sorority members are just like, oh, there's, you know, they wear robes and shit, and they try to make it, like, scare the freshmen, but they're not really doing, like, all the field work, you know? They're not really doing rituals, they're just being gross. Yeah. And fucking making women feel like crap. It's, you know, it's just, like, to laugh at, you know?
Yeah, shitty.
So it's all like a spectacle, and it doesn't look like, you know, they're actually doing fucking Wiccan magic in their house. And so, also, when asked about Cassidy and Sarah Tully, this is where I picked up on the fact of the mission of what was happening there. And just, you know, it's just sad. That was a common practice among the sorority to kind of fuck with friendships. The upper echelon of these girls is it's just mean, you know? People mean.
Yeah.
So, people mean. Big mean. Yeah,
they're mean. I truly feel bad for Cassidy in the way that she was bullied leading up to her case.
Kind of screwed her.
It's tough. TUFF tough.
TUFF tough.
Yeah, TUFF tough.
Alright, so now we gotta talk about some of the weirder stuff.
Some of the weirder stuff.
So, before we talk about the occult,
which I actually have a few things about,
we kind of have to discuss the occult. Not that anybody hears, no one here's like a grand wizard and isn't sharing with their friends, right?
Whoa, hey, I don't think any of us are part of the fucking KKK. Well, hold up.
I'm joking, yeah, no.
Yeah, so none of us here are gonna admit...
Actually, like, we're just kind of putting it out there that this is a side of things, and I've read enough shit that I do feel like we probably should say this, like, talk about this, because there's a lot of weird stuff that's gone on. Nothing concrete, but enough that we can't just be like, this is dumb.
And that's the thing too, is like the pentagram. So they take pictures of the pentagram found in Cassidy's room. There are some pictures of kind of the pentagrams used from the sorority things, right? They are so fucking different. The pentagram that's used in the sorority one is just like kind of like a star, and it's a circle. The one found in Cassidy's room has literal Latin written inside of the circle. Like, there's different parts of it. It looks way more complex and advanced.
Hey, she's using that fucking degree.
Right? She's using that degree.
I've seen on, like, Reddit people have commented about this case, because we're not the only true crime now to also like to get down in the dirty.
Also, just to be clear, none of us are like mages or anything, because magic.
None of us is mages.
Never heard of it. None
of us are like fucking wizards. But
it's crazy too, because as I've looked into this, like as a history degree, you know, the whole idea of like the occult and magic kind of makes me scoff. You know, I went to college. I know what reality is, but I think we lost Alex. I think the ghost train got him.
Ghost train, Alex, did the ghost train get
to college? I know what reality is.
I'm sorry, Alex. Where did you get your degree?
In the degree of not r/I am very smart.
But yeah, I have actually.
Oh, can I finish my point?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but I was cut off by somebody laughing
maniacally. I was cut off by fucking
Alex. But yeah. So looking into it this week, like there's a lot of occult shit out there. Like the pure amount is staggering.
The people have done their fucking research.
Yeah, people. Go on.
Go on, no.
Go on, no. You cut us off.
No, you go on.
You go on.
You go on.
You go on,
I
John.
went to college.
Okay. People try to fuck with stuff they don't understand. You know, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so that's kind of the question here too. Talking about the occult stuff that I found is that this circle that she made under her carpet is very detailed, and it is not something that just going through our occult you can find. Because I was just like, oh, what are pentagrams? What are summoning circles? You know, I did some research. I bought some books. And
I looked through a couple of those books because I like occult stuff, and digging through some of the more obscure forms. I have seen people talk about this pentagram, and from what I can tell, this isn't a newbie, as you're saying. This isn't a newbie thing. This is something not only do you need information for, and like her degree probably helped, but it's something you have to dig very deep for.
Right, and so where did Cassidy get this pentagram? It's kind of the question.
When did she learn?
Even looking at her searches, right, her search history, I think she did look into black magic to kind of like hurt her friends, her ex-friends. Her revenge is a motivator, you know. And for someone whose only gift is academics, the occult probably is something that is tantalizing to somebody like that.
Big vengeance.
Christ, Alex.
But I mean, she already speaks Greek and Latin, which means she
That's like half the fucking wall.
She's reading books that are already kind of like a normal person trying to get in the occult couldn't, right?
Yeah.
But just following her internet searches with this occult stuff, I could not find this pentagram. Based on the things that the police pulled from her laptop, I couldn't find it. I searched the same shit she searched. I bought all the books that were in her apartment with the murder. Which, by the way, now that I'm saying it out loud, might not have been the smartest thing for me to have done.
You got it all on Amazon. It was pretty fucking cheap.
You're gonna disappear like by the next episode.
So I'm gonna snap Max neck, and I'm gonna flee into the woods.
Oh Christ! Please don't.
I have a theory. I have a big theory.
All right, what's your theory?
She made up the pentagram because pentagrams aren't fucking hard shapes to draw, and she just used her Latin knowledge to, like, I don't know, fucking write down demon on loop.
No, like, I don't think she did that. I mean, because it seems like from like research, other people know about this pentagram.
Has anyone fucking Google translated what the Latin was?
Yes.
Oh, you leaned in. What is it? You're leaning in again.
Do you really want to know?
Yeah, of fucking course we do, John.
Let me lean in too. Yes.
Yes. So, all of the Latin translates into Zarbos, which is like a weird name. So, with a quick little Google search, it's a minor deity in the Greek and Roman pantheons.
Oh boy!
And Zarbos is a spirit that seems to have been almost erased from history. It was a minor deity used by Troy.
One sec. Yes, Alex?
Okay. In old Greek mythology, and I'm going to use my big brain here, in old Greek mythology, minor spirits were called demons. Like minor deities.
Ooh. Alex contributed to the podcast. Let's all take a moment.
Yeah.
Look at that college degree.
I haven't even been to college.
Well, you're gonna do great there. Just don't join a sorority and kill your roommate.
Don't drink and don't trust anyone.
Yeah, fucking daemon is a Latin word for the ancient Greek daimon, which originally referred to a lesser deity or guiding spirit, such as the demons of ancient Greek religion and mythology.
So
now that we know that, John.
Yep, and so Zarbos was found in the ruins of Troy as part of like a small temple there. So this is her. I mean, Alex brought up her using her degree. She used her degree to potentially summon a minor Greek god, if we believe in all of that,
and we don't.
Which is not to say that we do. It's just to say that everything that goes along with this pentagram looks like she's trying to fuck with shit she shouldn't.
Yeah,
I'm also just saying you shouldn't. I'm not saying that I'm a smart guy. I definitely didn't go to college, but I did. But I got my degree in history and not occultism.
Reality.
I do know my reality.
I don't.
But when you draw a pentagram, you probably shouldn't put it under a carpet, because what a carpet does is it absorbs things. So if you
are
don't
you telling me
if you don't wait for the
carpet
pentagram
has absorbed a minor Greek deity?
No, there's not a demon carpet. I'm saying
episode 3, demon in the carpet.
I'm saying that looking at the carpet, as the carpet went into evidence for this case, and there was found to be the same material that drew this pentagram was on the bottom of the carpet, which makes me think that Cassidy may have not waited for her pentagram to dry fully before covering it. Which, if you look at the occult stuff, not having a complete pentagram is pretty much the basis for like horror movies everywhere.
Yeah.
So
demon carpet.
Yes, the carpet's new name is Zarbos, and it now resides over the mattress warehouse down on 2nd Street. No one goes into that Bed Bath & Beyond anymore after Zarbos claimed it. No, there's no fucking demon carpet named Zarbos flying around.
Demon carpet Zarbos, guardian of Tartarus.
Oh my god, just like the adventures of Zarbos, the demon carpet. He deserves his own TV show.
Can you be our mascot? Our podcast mascot?
Look, we're not having a carpet demon as a mascot.
I think it sums up the occult pretty well.
I don't think it does. I think you're very generalizing.
Am I?
But
yeah,
so the carpet's a key piece of evidence that a lot of like there are people who do occult podcasts that cover this and look at the carpet as kind of Cassie Miller's downfall. Which
but guys, we're ripping off other podcasts here.
Well, it's just the thing, a podcast, like, if you go on our occult, like, there's a lot of things where people say, like, there's the horror stories when going into the occult, and a lot of people use Cassie Miller as one of them, saying that, she didn't do her circle right, and that is probably what led to her becoming kind of this vegetable thing.
Yeah.
First of all, Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, it's just the thing, she's not put together, and I really hope that this girl does get put back together, because it seems like she could have had an amazing life. But, shit happens.
Humpty Dumpty Bowsette.
Yep. But
did you just say Humpty Dumpty Bowsette?
Yeah.
Alright, we're done with that conversation.
We're moving on. Okay, so we need to talk about a few other things here going on with this chase, right? So a few things to kind of bring up here is that Cassidy was fleeing across campus, right? The night of her murder, the murder of Sarah Tully. And so a lot of people saw her. Like, she's jumping over rooftops, you know what I mean?
Wait.
She climbed to the top of her apartment building.
And started going roof to roof.
And then, at some point she went down those roofs and went through campus. She had, like, hair. Her eyes were wild. People report kind of like a weird grunting kind of going on, which, could just be the fact, you just killed your ex-best friend pretty violently, and then the police came to try to arrest you.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's
I thought she was dummy thick. How's she parkouring?
She parkouring hard.
She's just like a fucking kangaroo girl at this point, roof to roof, hopping along.
But so she, if you really wanted to know, I put together the timeline by putting together, like, if you look at all the bullshit stories of people that went to Eastchester and said, I saw Cassidy that night, there's
like 1 out of 10.
Theoretically, she teleported all across campus. But that's not what happened. So, we know that the end point was the alley behind the Language Arts building. And we know that the start point was her apartment. We know that for sure, right? That's what we know. Now, the interesting thing, though, with the minute-by-minute... I'm sorry.
Here, real quick, I do have one thing to ask. So you're telling me, teleporting around. People thought she was teleporting around and all that shit, but wouldn't that realistically contribute with, like, I assumed you figured out where she was going by, like, just basically, you picked her house, you picked where she ended up, and you assumed that the people between those 2 points were true?
No. So there's a few key sightings of her. So people say they saw her, right?
Yeah.
But we know what she was wearing that night. So that is the way that you kind of verified these reports.
What if she was very quickly changing clothes?
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that, Alex.
But we believe in the demons.
You believe in the demons?
Demon carpet.
That's
my case.
Demon carpet.
Zarmos just flew around her, giving her new clothing as she
yeah. Demon carpet.
So we know she ended up at the alley behind the Language Arts building. But here's the strange thing about all this.
Yeah.
Her track doesn't lead to the Language Arts building, right?
What?
Actually, the direction that she was headed was the frat house that Jason Hicks lives in, by verified reports.
Big vengeance.
Big vengeance.
Big
right?
vengeance.
But here's the interesting thing, right? I can't find any verified sightings that go from where she was headed to the Language Arts building.
Or anywhere else.
If anything, right? She probably must have been about a block from the fraternity when trace of her vanishes.
Like, she changed course.
And she was found at the Language Arts building.
Which was, like, much different location.
And the other thing to remember, too, is everyone who saw her said that she was very determined, like, put together, like, rage-filled. Like, she pushed people out of the way. She was clearly, like, on a mission, right? How does that person become this broken girl that's found behind the Language Arts building? Yes, Alex.
Have you confirmed or denied the existence of an evil twin?
Jesus.
There are no evil twins in this story. I promise you.
Sure?
I've looked at the census data. There's only one child.
What about Zarbos?
I don't know what Zarbos
is. Zarbos the demon culprit?
What about Zarbos?
What's Zarbos doing? What's he doing? What's he doing in all this?
That's probably a good question.
I don't know.
As in, if we do follow the theory that this is real, then
is he just hanging around doing carpet things?
Was he getting clean?
Do you think he has a foot fetish?
Oh God!
Jesus,
that's
Christ, Alex!
Step on me, Sarah.
Alex, what the fuck?
Okay, but so that's just the interesting thing about like her chase. So I got a few more things before we go to theories of just little pieces of evidence that I think are important. So there's one report amidst all this on this trajectory that's important that I want to bring up. So there's Bill. Bill. I'm not going to give up his last name. My boy
Bill.
And that's not even truly his name. But I talked to Bill.
We have secret fucking informants.
We don't have so this is so weird, and Bill was so freaked out that the only way that I could get this information from him when I was studying this case was the fact that
he's fucking Zarbos.
That I would not say. So
Bill a demon culprit?
Bill happens to live at a Catholic housing unit, right? And the whole thing about living at one of these things is you can't do X amount of things. So Bill was smoking a joint on the roof of his apartment building, and thus cannot be named because of some of the reprisals that go along with that. But the thing that Bill said that was quite weird, right, is that on the rooftop trajectory to this fraternity, he was adjacent to where he saw Cassidy kind of making her way across these rooftops before she goes to street level. On one of these rooftops, Cassidy had an altercation with two robed figures.
What?
According to Bill, who admits that he had been smoking weed quite a heavily amount.
Yeah, but weed doesn't make you see weed that weird.
Look,
we're not talking acid.
We're not at theories, and I'm not saying. I'm just letting you know that he fully matched her description. He was fully in a place where it is reasonable, which is the only reason that this story is coming up at all. Is the fact that in the incredibleness
walk.
So apparently, the two people in robes tried to stop Cassidy, capture Cassidy, something of they had a confrontation, right?
Yeah.
And Cassidy ended up wounding, as Bill puts it, one of these figures. Like they were trying to stop her. Like he said he heard something crunch. And that there was a tussle. His words, not mine.
Fuck yeah, go Zarbos.
Jesus Christ.
And then that he saw the one robe figure drag the other one off after Cassidy had kind of moved through
Kept going.
Right. And so it's a strange little piece that there are these like robe figures that they seem to have known something about this.
They knew where.
And Bill couldn't hear anything, but Bill saw them. And
how far away was it? Like a couple? Was it reasonable for him not to hear anything?
Yeah, so it was about two rooftops. It was like two rooftops between the trajectory. And the Catholic housing building is a 4-floor apartment building.
Yeah.
Cassidy and the buildings on her row are all three built.
So
floors. He was slightly above too, and with how busy like the streets and parties on that night, that the acoustics would not have allowed him to do that.
Yeah,
but he would have had line of sight. Google Mapsing the location, there's nothing like huge in the way that would have blocked his report.
I see.
So, okay, so oh my god, we're almost at the end. There was a lot in this case. That I just kind of want to talk about
carpet demons.
So I kind of want to talk about this fucking tattoo. Is the thing that kind of sticks with me, right? This 03 innocent thing.
Mm-hmm. You don't just spontaneously get a tattoo.
Well, the thing is too.
Did she have it before?
No.
Wait. So on the day of. She did not have this tattoo.
We can't.
We can't confirm.
We can confirm that 2 days before, where she is in Mrs. Winter's office, which is the last time she's seen in public, she didn't have this tattoo on. There's no record of her spending accounts that she went and got a fucking tattoo. She didn't pull any cash out. She didn't, like... I've looked into this. I've siphoned through, because this is the thing that bothers me, is this fucking tattoo thing. You know, the occult
Everything
stuff.
else
The occult stuff, it doesn't make sense. But I don't want to. I don't want to believe.
So there was a 1-day period where she wasn't seen in public.
No, which could have been whatever the fuck the ritual preparation shit was.
Yeah, could have been when she got the tattoo.
But there's no money pulled out next. Where she's getting this tattoo? No one entered this apartment.
No one entered the apartment. She's not paying money for it.
Okay.
On the 26th at night, she returns from her meeting with Mrs. Winters and enters her apartment.
I have a question.
Yeah, Alex?
Do we know what Zarbos was the god of? Because for all you know, he was the god of giving really cool tattoos.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
I leaned in.
He leaned
in.
He's the Trojan minor god of vengeance.
Fake vengeance!
I am the carpet demon, have my vengeance! I should
Carpet demon of big vengeance. Yes!
Shit.
And that's actually one of the reasons why when they found his ruins, like the temple actually was in pretty good shape when they found the ruins of Troy, because when the theory is that when the Greeks came in and burned the city down, they stopped and they were like, "Thank you, Zarbos, for allowing us to get our vengeance on the Trojans."
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so using my degree.
big up to my boy Zarbos.
So I mean, maybe we'll start. A lot of people do petty shit and be like, "Thank you, Zarbos."
We're not starting that fad. We're not starting a demon worshipping fad.
It's like when you pull in front of somebody's parking space before they get in there, and you just like, Zarbos.
Big up Zarbos.
Zarbos, my homie.
You get the fucking last slice of pizza. Hey, my man Zarbos.
It's like someone pulls in front of you on the highway. Zarbos, I will get my vengeance.
Oh, well, I'd be careful invoking
I would not invoke anything. Greek
let's have a little like just serious thing real quick. I don't believe that the occult stuff is real. But I still don't feel comfortable enough to tell anybody that they should fucking. Okay, fine. Listen, what's gonna happen, Alex? Is you're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, I'm not fucking afraid of Zarbos," and then the carpet's gonna beat you. He's gonna. Did you just say if he's real, he should fuck you in the ass?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Do you just have weird erotic fantasies about carpets fucking you in the ass?
Episode 3 is.
Bitch, mate.
Okay, well we're getting really off topic here. So, but yeah, so the tattoo was weird to me. The number 3 and the innocent thing. So I just generally put a pin in that. Like, I care enough about this that I'm going to hold on to that weird little thing.
I'll be honest. I didn't do too much research on the case itself. Shit, I didn't even know much about it. But the Rose sisters, though, I do know a little bit about. I did my research a while back on them because I did have an occult phase. I do have an occult phase. I'd call it less of a phase and more of a general interest. But I personally believe, and just to segue a little bit, unless Alex, do you have any questions?
How much do I have to pay Zarbos to shut the fuck up?
No. Any other real questions?
No, not really.
Alright, then I would like to start with my theory. I think that there is in fact a secret cult sort of thing. Like, we can say magic isn't real and everything, but here's what I'm going to.
So I just want to know that you're fully in the magic is real camp.
I'll Yes.
Okay, that's just...
It has to... I think, someone has to in this case, because everything connects way too closely for my comfort. There's some weird shit that goes on that until that we have an explanation for, I can't say... Like, I think no one else is going to as well. Like, I'm pretty 50-50 on the occult stuff itself. I won't say it's concrete real, but kind of, because honestly this is the theory I believe in too, because maybe we'll talk about some of the cases that made me believe that this shit is maybe real, because there's some weird shit that happened in Connecticut, but different episode. But yeah, I think personally that at the very least Cassie was in the Rose Sisters, which is actually a secret cult built into the school and into Pennsylvania itself as an organization. I believe she at least believed she was possessed by this demon. And doing so, either A, being possessed caused her to change in a way to allow her, a tiny ass 5-foot girl, to quite easily 5'6" girl, taller than expected, snap her best friend's fucking neck like a twig, then jump rooftop to fucking rooftop, which is not an easy feat and not one that can be done consistently.
I do want to say though, like the college layout of things, college
is close, yeah, but still,
like it's not like 3-foot jumps. It's like there's like gaps of like the way that she went was not.
Yeah, but
some of them were full on connected. Like,
oh, I know. I'm not saying it like you need to be a parkour. I'm just saying that's still rough terrain to run on.
Well, you can do your theory first. I don't want to discredit you while you're talking.
Did you say something, Alex?
Yeah, you go on.
Okay.
It's bad form for to not let an opponent make a mistake.
I personally believe that she... You know what? Fuck it. Let's go full on here. I think not only was she a part of it and like she got this demon stuff, I think her teacher, Winters, was it?
Mrs. Winters, yeah.
Mrs. Winters? I think she was the one who provided it to her. I think she learned of this ritual from her teacher, Mrs. Winters, because she felt like she was slighted by the organization, which I do not believe gave her this knowledge. I believe she learned about magic from whatever the fuck this organization is, the Sisters, and then she found a connection either into the Sisters or in another organization in Winters who gave her this pentagram design, which she fucked up. It was not supposed to go this way, causing her to become possessed. I don't know what the fuck happened for her to end up in that thing, but clearly someone or something stopped her. Or something in the ritual itself fucked up, because Jason Hicks is still alive, correct?
Yep, not he's a douche, but he's still alive.
He's still alive. Yeah, obviously he was fucking next, and he was heading straight to it. And from your bill contact, it's clear that people knew that something was going on. And I'm not saying this could just be she went crazy and a couple of people in the group went out. They didn't want to be identified, so they wore robes, but there was no magic involved. They were just trying to hold her back. But going straight into the possession thing, at the very least she went crazy and people tried to stop her. But I do believe there was an organization. I do believe her teacher either gave her real magic or helped her believe in the fantasy that allowed her to realistically do her actions without believing she was at guilt. And because of it, when she eventually did kill her friend, she became broken. Does that make sense?
I mean, it's your theory.
I know it's my theory.
I think all the pieces are there for that to be true, other than the shadow organizations.
I'm not saying the shadow organizations like the fucking Illuminati. I'm just saying there are all these like groups out. There is this group out there of the sisters. I didn't comment, but there's research, there's evidence. Enough people talk about them online and such that at the very least there is some sort of group.
Okay,
underneath.
The Shadow Magic Organization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not saying they're the Illuminati. I'm just saying they are a secret group.
You're allowed to have your opinions. We all allowed our theories, and your theory is Shadow Magic Organization.
Fuck you, John. Alex, your theory?
My theory? Fucking, I don't know, she went batshit. Adrenaline's a hell of a drug. Parkour, yeah. I don't really have a theory besides what's officially accepted, but I do have a question.
Shoot.
Do you think Zarbos is still in that rug?
I hope not.
'Cause I want that fucking rug.
You
probably up on like a wall.
And it speaks to you at night.
Yeah, I want to taunt it. I want to be like,
Alex, you must gain vengeance. That woman cut in front of you today. That woman cut in front of you today at the supermarket.
You must find her family and slaughter them. Hang them for me, Zarbos, God of vengeance.
She took your chicken wings. Find her family and eat them.
Eat her small children. Slowly.
So I mean, the interesting thing about the theories in this case is just like, we know she killed her roommate. Like, no one is disputing the fact that happened. I mean, I guess like the question is just like, is Cassidy a sociopath who found a way to kind of like lean into mental illness? Like, is all this like a big act for her? Which is like, that is kind of the view that Sarah Tully's family put forward, and a lot of the documentaries and stuff is that, this girl was smart. It wouldn't be hard for her to do a few Google searches, draw a pentagram, make it look like,
she knew what the fuck she was
right.
doing.
So it wouldn't be hard for her to have done all this premeditated. I don't believe that. Someone should put that thought forward, because it is something that's out there with the research, and to not.
That's true. You needed to put it out there. So I do have a question. I think because of how this case is structured, we should discuss a bit of, for you, Alex, because you believe in the official theory. What is your answer then, or lack of how she went from a block away from Jason Hicks's, fraternity house to behind?
Girl's got hops.
No, but no one saw her go through, and she was running around fucking mad. And then she ends up on the other side of the campus, in the fucking alleyway, crying her eyes out.
Well, I mean, I look at it as like, and this is something that maybe, you kill your best friend, the police come for you, you run, right?
Yeah.
I think that at some point you fully come to terms with what you've done. And, the logical thing could just be like, yeah, she's running, like, she's running to Jason Hicks, but isn't she just running to her life? Maybe she's for her life. Maybe she's running to, like, her ex-boyfriend. You don't know why she's going that way. And also,
maybe she got caught up in the vengeance, right? And then once the rush comes down and she realizes, hey, I just murdered my ex-best friend, maybe she just changed course and ended up breaking down in an alleyway. Who knows?
Like, my thing isn't why she turned around. My question is, how did she do that without getting seen by anybody?
Well, I think the thing is too is that, like, running across rooftops and, like, pushing through people and, like, all that's something that people remember. If she stopped and made a decision, I'm going to walk across campus now. She's just a girl on a Friday night of a campus of like 15,000 people. Like
that's not everyone's gonna remember her like walking past them.
Why the language building? It's the language building, right? I don't know.
Maybe she was. I don't know. Like the thing is that like her advisor is there. You know.
Oh, Winter's.
Winter's office is there. Maybe she was trying to go to a place of comfort, of like the last person she had left, and that, I don't know. Like
dangerous space magic.
But
It's a tough case.
It's just the thing of the fact that like I just can't in good conscience say that she was possessed or she summoned a demon or whatever. I think that it is quite alarming that how much occult shit there is. One, because that kind of was like an eye opener for me, and two, that it was obviously something that was so detailed.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is too is that like if you start breaking down what your reality is, and
you got a college degree.
Yeah, my college degree lets me know what reality is. But I mean, that's just not the only thing. If you start believing into a delusion, and you start doing rituals to feed that delusion, like building a pentagram, lighting candles, believing that you believe. If you believe that you have been given the power by an ancient god of vengeance to kill your ex-best friend, what does that do to you, to your mind? Because we've seen
back anymore,
right, and we've seen in athletes and people like the mother lifting the car to save the child shit.
Yeah,
like it wouldn't. The way that I explain the snap neck is like she believes that her vengeance is hers, and that her mind in that moment, her limiters of self-preservation are gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, like
her body,
a hell of a drug.
Right, exactly. So like that snapping of the neck, like, and honestly, like the bruises and the injuries in Saratelli, I think she just lost it. Like, I mean, I think there's only so much that you can do, and who knows? It could have just been that she, they found in her room a picture of her and Jason Hicks, Cassie and Jason Hicks, like, happy together. Who knows? She could have seen the picture and been like, today's the day that I've had enough of this shit. Like, you don't know what caused that explosion of things.
Okay, I'm about to say something fucked up.
Alright, Alex. Go ahead.
When the quiet kid reaches into her bag and pulls out a pen and some fucking candles.
That's fucking dark, Alex. That's super fucking dark. But I'll lay out my kind of closing thing of this case didn't really affect how but when I first heard about this case a while back, I didn't think magic was a thing. And then Connecticut happened, which we might talk about either in another episode or maybe a little side thing, maybe a side episode, because while it isn't exactly, I feel like something we'd cover due to the aspect of it being an unsolved mystery instead of a real case. The Connecticut files are important, but after that, which is not trying to get into because that's probably a full episode worth of bullshit. Like 3 missing girls, weird town occultism, shit like that, unexplainable stuff. But with that, I've looked at this case in a new light, and I'm finally more interested in it. And I think it's a tale of somebody who fucked with something they really shouldn't have. They tried to go. They needed vengeance, and they decided to fuck with something that very clearly they shouldn't have. And even if magic isn't real, that sense of adrenaline and such that kicked in allowed them to do weird things.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you. I think what it comes down to is you have this girl who's very intelligent and had a lot going for her, and either the options are either magic is real and she fucked with magic and that kind of like ruined her, or magic is not real and it created a space for her to kind of lose herself. Like, no matter which way, the magic led to her loss of
either way,
sanity.
the magic affected her.
At the end of the day, we have a dead girl and another girl stuck in a psych ward. It's
Yeah. So
the mystery remains unsolved.
Yeah, and I picked Cassidy for the second case of ours because with the Joneses last week there was a sense of like who could be the killer, and that's fun and everything, as fun as murder can be. But
that was a pretty fucking fun case, to be honest.
It's pretty fun.
But sometimes with these true crimes things, sometimes it's just sad, and I feel like this should be talked about because of the hazing, the magic, the whole fact that like this girl should have had like a perfectly good life, and now whether or not however whatever happened, she's in the psych ward now. We really covered
and
it. And Zarbos, the carpet demon, is out there. But other than that being a great joke that we had this episode, the rest of this is kind of sad. Like
at the end of the day, I think the real villain here is college sororities and Zarbos. Fuck that
definitely
guy.
Fuck Jason Hicks, right?
Fuck Jason Hicks, but I'm very happy we did do Cassie, because what I've read, because I did look over the notes a little bit, and I was able to sort around. Either there were podcasts about occultism which just cover the occultist side of things, or true crime podcasts which completely rip apart the occultism side, but around the campfire is about taking a look at the weird shit and having an open mind about it.
Exactly.
And I think that's why we differ. And, I think doing this episode, we had a lot of fun with it, but that's mostly to help you guys digest the information. Because we don't want to talk about episodes and, be somber about it. It's shitty situations and awful for these people, but we want you to learn about it and not end up at the end of the episode feeling like you've just seen someone kick a puppy.
Yeah. And what's crazy too about this case that I think about? Treelock is like an hour and 20-minute drive from Glendale.
Yeah.
And I thought about, as part of the research, driving up there, and a part of me was like, no.
That's a little too far. Maybe 30 minutes less. Yeah.
Well, no, a part of it was just like, oh man, like I was like, do I really want to talk to this girl? Because like she is just so like the documents make her look so haunted, and I was just like, you know what? Like this is already tragedy enough. Like I don't know if I really want to meld that line too of just like fucking seeing the reality of.
I'll be honest,
Cassie
John.
Miller.
Yeah. Like no.
I didn't take the drive. I didn't, but I thought about it.
You thought about it, and like I think it's a good idea. You didn't. Like, I know you don't, but I think talking to a girl who's been haunted by some weird shit and being like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be talking about you," I feel like that would have ended real badly for us.
Well, I wasn't gonna do it just because of the fact that, like, when I first saw where she was before I did more of my research, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, it's within shooting distance. Like, I can get over there. Like, but then as I read some more of the stuff, I was like, I don't want to fuck around with dark magic. Like, I don't believe it's real, but I also know better. I've seen Paranormal Activity. I know how that shit goes.
And Paranormal Activity 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the Mexican one, 7, and the reboot, sequel, prequel.
So many of those fucking movies.
Oh, do you know they're making an 11th one?
I hate you.
I'm fucking with you.
Oh man. Alright, so
hey, my man Zarbos, can you fuck with the fucking Paranormal Activity movies?
I am Oh god. You know what? We've
Paranormal Activity 11. We've invoked Zarbos way too many times for my comfort.
Yo, Alex is just gonna go to the bathroom after this podcast, and he's gonna be looking in the mirror, and then he's like, yo, was my wall always that color? And then it turns into a carpet. It's like, huh, why does it feel so soft? It's like, it slowly comes out, and it's just like a huge lump of carpet with a penis. Oh my god, you guys are disgusting.
Oh, it's like, huh.
Alright.
It's just gonna be
This is episode 2 of the Campfire.
It's bold of us to assume that Mr. Zarbos is a man. He could be a chick demon.
Could be a chick demon. It's just like, now I'm just imagining.
We're done.
No, nope, culprit. Everything is a culprit.
Okay, so this was episode 2 of Around the Campfire. This is the case of Cassie Miller.
Zarbos!
I hope that you found this both informative and fun, and
we had fun, but just a quick thing. The people, events, and places. We don't mean to be rude or insult the families who have lost someone in these cases. We do put our hearts out to them. We do not any funds that we do make off the YouTube/podcast will be used to assist in these families, and send it if there's a charity based on the family, we send it to them, or stuff like that.
So where the money's been going? I need to eat.
Look, we got a couple of we got like a donation or two from people local, and I want to just let those people know that the money is going to be sent to the family set up a charity, right?
For Sarah Tully.
Yeah, Sarah Tully. Yeah. For mental health, so we'll be sending those donations over to her. We will be keeping a little bit of cash just to pay for the expenses, though. But
I didn't know there was money.
Yeah, I know you didn't, because I know you fucking spend it on fucking Dr. Pepper. Alright. Anyhow, thank you all for listening in.
One last thing.
Yes?
Do you think Sarah Tully's family is gonna pay...
No, we're not getting paid for this!
To invoke Zarbos.
Hey guys, I know you covered us. We need you to go back on air and invoke us a demon. You fucking with... Okay, fuck
I'll never look at carpets the same way again.
Oh god, oh god. We're on a carpet.
It's fine, it's not Zarbos. Alright, well, this is Around the Campfire, episode 2, Case of Cassie Miller.
Could we be on a carpet?
And we're done. 3, 2, 1, have a good night.